Mott, Frankie Dettori, barrier number 14. Humidor, barrier number 13 for Olivia Pellier. Marmello jumps from 16 for Hugh Bowman. Red Cardinal, the outside barrier for Karen McAvoy. Johannes Vermeer from 3, Bond from 1. Max Dynamite jumps from barrier number 2. Ventura Storm, barrier number 6. Pouchalont in 18. Libran in 7. Nikita in 19. Single Gaze from 11. Wall of Fire 15. Thomas Hobson from 21. Rekindling from barrier 4. Amelie Star 10. And Kiss Montaigne for our far lap mark.
Right, but a lot of horses are drew inside firmed and a lot of horses are drew outside drifted.
That's your party trick now.
But we're $8 the field in a Melbourne Cup. Did you think you'd ever see it that wide?
Yes, yeah. This one.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. $8. And the roughest runner, they've even changed since that market there. Because, as you can see, I brought Larry with me. But it's even changed from that market that's on the screen. The roughest runner's $81. Where are the days where we had 400 or 500 to 1 chances that come up $21 on the tote? The tote's only gone up this morning, so there's no money in it at the moment. But
go to Rekindling. This is another one for Nick Williams. Glenn, what price?
At the moment, Greg, is a $15 chance. Looking through yesterday in the afternoon, 17, pre-draw 17, post-draw 16, into $15 at the moment. And one of their horses, we haven't really heard a great deal about.
Yeah. He's lightly raced. I'm wondering whether he's next year's horse, but I do respect him. He did run second of the best day, one of the best days in the world, Order of St George. I'm interested in him without knowing a lot about him, Mark.
Yeah, well, the former rank Capri is pretty good. I mean, he's obviously a Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old, and the last one I think to place was Marla, I think about 15 years ago.
That's his negative, is that he's a Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old. He's going to be in a very tough race. It's really going to be very tough on him. He's certainly been contesting good Group 1 races in Europe, and he is obviously up to this grade, but it's just whether it's come too soon.
Yeah, getting back to Capri, he did win the Irish Derby, 4th in an English Derby, so pretty handy horse to be raced close to, you know, and 2 lengths from that horse.
23 is ever a dozen in your top 10. I could have 12 bets easily. Marmello from me, Wall of Fire. Then Rekindling and Almandon.
I'm Wall of Fire. A definite saver, Almandon. I'll throw in Marmello reluctantly, although I just think he's had a nice prep. And Thomas Hobson's the one I'm most wary of.
Lizzie?
Oh, I'm the same as Duff. I'm Wall of Fire, Nikita, Marmello and Humidor.
Okay, Mark?
Well, I'm going against the record books with number 9, Wicklow Brave.
Max Dynamite.
Max Dynamite, the other one. Another Willie Mullins. Yeah, well, it should run very well on. It's run 2 years ago. It's got acceleration. It's been working enormous. From number 5, Marmello, he'll improve from the Caulfield Cup.
Top 10 of the Everest.
Did it win? I just checked the results.
Finished in the top 10.
Well, you'll put 20 in your top 10. I'm sticking with the Caulfield Cup form because I think it was such a brutally run race. The form usually holds up in those sort of races. Johan Vermeer, Marmello, Big Duke, I think will be much, much better suited with a lot of...
Drawing 12. He's probably going to need to settle, but he is quite a free-rolling horse and may look here an interview from trainer Ian Jardine about Nikita, but this was its run winning the...
Flemington as the Emirates Melbourne Cup trophy for 2017 makes its way into the mounting yard in front of a massive crowd. Enjoy the excitement of the build-up. Massive crowd around the mounting yard. The horses are just entering the yard for the Emirates Melbourne Cup. It's now time for a market update.
Well, at Bet365, the boys are saying clearly the best-backed runner here is Marmello. Of course, he finished a fast-finishing 6th in the Caulfield Cup. He's ridden by Hugh Bowman, who's already got the Cox Plate under his belt this spring, and he's looking to get the Melbourne Cup, his first Melbourne Cup for Huey, but $9.50 mark, and in now as low as $7.50 at Bet365. You can see Almandon has been heavily supported as well. $7.50 originally, but got out to $10 during since the barrier draw. Now back into $7.55 for this runner. Rekindling, he's having his first start here in Australia. Of course, he's joined the Lloyd Williams team. He's got genuine Group 1 form over in Europe, and he's
a staggering $6 million.
The defending champ is Almandon and was dominant in the JRA Trophy 2 starts back.
Yeah, loves 3,200 metres and he'll present it.
Horse number 8 is Max Dynamite, is a lightly raced 8-year-old, just the 23 career starts, unluckily beaten into second by Prince of Penzance 2 years ago. It's just had the 4 runs since that cup placing.
Yes, and he does mix jumping with flat racing, but most importantly, he can quicken up a little bit. We saw that in the Melbourne Cup. He was a bit
$26.
Rekindling is horse number 22. It's one up to 2,800 metres. It's a lightly raced 4-year-old, 9 starts.
Yeah, fast finishing sort of horse, just the right sort of horse for me. I've put him in as top selection. Yep. Rekindling, he is the baby of the field.
17 into $15, and there was that big bet, $40,000 to win at $17. You put that on before, Brass.
Emily. A couple of wild cards here, Libran and US Army Ranger, but in order, 22, 14, 7.
Yeah, Dean likes Wall of Fire number 20 to beat 5 Marmello. Rekindling, he's got it in the mix as well, number 22 and the defending champ.
Moving forward for the running of the great race, and Max Dynamite, one of the first in, with also Cup. Stand by, and they're racing in the Melbourne Cup. Humidor jumped away only fairly and got a little bit of a brush. Single Gaze out well. Towards the inside, Max Dynamite midfield early. Johannes Vermeer out well with Boom Time and also Ventura Storm. Max Dynamite behind them. Speed from the outside. Hartnell is coming over with also Marmello, Sismontane and Gallant is very deep on the track. So onto the course proper after they complete 400. Boom Time is the leader with Sismontane and Gallant. Marmello behind them, followed by Johannes Vermeer, the inside of Hartnell. Max Dynamite about 7th on the rails. Then Al Mandan, who's 3 wide around Ventura Storm. Rekindling on the fence. And then came Single Gaze. Next in the field is Big Duke between horses. Then came Bondi Beach, Wall of Fire. Emily Starr is wide and 2/3 down from LeBron as they run past the judge with a lap of the track to go. Red Cardinals trying to slot in on the outside of Humidor. Then came Nikita. 2 further back in the field. 3rd last here is US Army Ranger, and then towards the end of the field, Wicklow Brave. Thomas Hobson is last. Sismontane is the leader, heading towards the riverside with approximately 2,000 metres to run. 3/4 of a length in front of Gallant, who's trying to inch a little bit closer on the outer. A length and a half to the Caulfield Cup winner, Boom Time, 3rd the rails. Then came Marmello. A length Johannes Vermeer on the fence from Hartnell. Then came Max Dynamite, Ventura Storm. Rekindling tucked away on the inside midfield from Big Duke. Al Mandan will be 3 wide the trip. Bondi Beach on the fence from LeBron. And then came Single Gaze. Next Tiberian, who's wide from Nikita. Wicklow Brave is pulling as they try and slow it up mid-race. Further back is Wall of Fire. Towards the end, Thomas Hobson. And US Army Ranger is last in the Melbourne Cup. 1,400 metres to run. Sismontane in front by a length to Gallant. Boom Time is 3rd. 4th is Marmello. Every possible chance. Tiberian 5th, 3 deep. Johannes Vermeer next the inside from Hartnell. Then came Emily Starr, the outer. Next is Max Dynamite getting a cushy run, about 7th on the inner from Ventura Storm. A length Rekindling. Then Al Mandan and Big Duke. A length and a half to Single Gaze. And then Bondi Beach. Well back in the field then is LeBron. Wall of Fire, Humidor, Red Cardinal. Thomas Hobson the outside, and well back is Wicklow Brave and US Army Ranger. Sismontane in front, but Marmello's getting closer on the outside at the 800. Tiberian moves up to 3rd. Boom Time behind those in 4th. Johannes Vermeer right behind them. They were followed by Hartnell and Max Dynamite as they run the turn. Next Ventura Storm. Emily Starr, one of the widest, with Single Gaze. Further back, Wall of Fire and Big Duke. Al Mandan's in the pack as well. Sismontane and Marmello straighten for home, approaching the 400 metres. Johannes Vermeer moves up with Tiberian. Max Dynamite, then Rekindling, followed by Big Duke. Johannes Vermeer takes the lead. 200 metres to go. Johannes Vermeer in front, but here comes Rekindling. Johannes Vermeer, Rekindling. Max Dynamite back to the inside at the 100. Johannes Vermeer, Rekindling wearing it down. Johannes Vermeer and Rekindling stride for stride. Rekindling has won the Emirates Melbourne Cup. From in 2nd place, Johannes Vermeer. 3rd, Max Dynamite. Then came Big Duke. Next, Nikita Wicklow, Brave Marmello, followed by Tiberian. Then LeBron, Sismontane. Next, Thomas Hobson, Al Mandan. Well back in the field, Humidor, Red Cardinal, Single Gaze, Emily Starr, Wall of Fire, Bondi Beach and Hartnell. And Ventura Storm was amongst the tail enders with US Army Ranger. He has Quinella the race, Lloyd Williams. He's now won 6. and this time he goes 1-2. Rekindling has won the Melbourne Cup. Rekindling for Joseph O'Brien, ridden by Corey Brown, who wins his second Melbourne Cup. Number 22, Rekindling. Corey Brown, after winning with Shocking in 2009, takes his second. Joseph O'Brien, what a training feat, defeats Johannes Vermeer, Ben Melham, who was swinging on the
Melbourne Cup. How does that sound? Oh, Dino, I can't believe it, mate. Honestly, we chased, the manager and I chased the ride about 6 weeks ago. Obviously, with the lightweight, I thought I'd be a big chance of getting on him, but mate, the Joseph O'Brien team, Team Williams, I just can't believe it. You know, like, I've been back from overseas for about 9 months, slowly but surely getting back to where I was, but mate, I can't believe it.
And you've had to re-establish yourself to win the Melbourne Cup. He's a 3-year-old by Northern Hemisphere time, and he has a massive future. He's come a long way over the past 18 months. He was
this kind of trip, but to travel over and run, you know, without a prep run, he's gone against most of the odds. Obviously, Vintage Crop, the last horse to do that, and Joseph O'Brien, I was saying it beforehand, he achieved
more than anything else. You've now won it for the 6th time. Congratulations.
Thank you, Shane. You're absolutely thrilled, and to have done it with Aidan's son, it's like a dream come true. Thanks, Johnny.
I know that you've had this horse targeted for this race for a long period of time, Lloyd.
Yeah, we have. I thought the 3-year-olds were racing well over there. Goodwood Cup, Doncaster Cup, all the 3-year-olds at Jeffrey Frere, they're all beating older horses, and so I was excited about that. And so it's a dream for me, Shane, absolute dream.
Your relationship with Aidan O'Brien and his son. Well done, Lloyd.
All right. I'm just going to see young Joseph. Where's him?
There he is, Lloyd Williams, winning his 6th Emirates Melbourne Cup. Tickle Pink.
Need trouble. He had that last crack at Johannes Vermeer, who I thought at the 200 might have just stolen a break on them, but just inside that final 100 metres, Rekindling, what a finish, and just kept the powder dry as long as he could, Corey Brown. Max Dynamite had a beautiful run through the race as well, every possible chance, and there's Big Duke back in 4th, but the first two drew, as I said, drew well clear of Max Dynamite, who had his opportunity, and in the end, Rekindling just packed too many punches there for Johannes Vermeer, who has performed with distinction since being here in Australia in every race, and they've gone close here, but had to play second fiddle today, of course, to Rekindling, who's been turned out an absolute treat to young Joseph O'Brien, and
tick over at Page on the New South Wales tote, and that bloke who has won the $1 million has been a Tab customer for 20 years. So well done, and well done for picking Rekindling, and yeah, imagine that, $1 million just jumps in. That'd be outstanding.
Well, we need through on the Cup, and Rekindling becomes the first horse since Vintage Crop, of course, in '93 to win the Melbourne Cup at its first Australian start.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, he's also the youngest horse to have won the Cup for a long, long time. The last 3-year-old to win the Melbourne Cup was 1942, Skipton, and this horse.
Brian, congratulations! What an outstanding effort by your horse.
Yeah, unbelievable, unbelievable effort from the horse, and Corey gave him an unbelievable ride. The lads that have been down here with him all the last few weeks have done a great job with him. All the lads at home all year. I'm just so delighted for everyone, and Lloyd and Nick have been very good to me since I started training, and I can't quite believe it yet, to be honest.
How do you feel having knocked off your father in a dramatic finish?
Yeah, listen, like I say, it hasn't really sunk in yet.
It's been extraordinary for you, an outstanding ride. Will we see Joseph O'Brien back with many other runners in years to come?
Oh, I hope so, yeah. Hopefully, if we have horses good enough to come, we'll be here.
Well done, Joseph.
Thank you.
That's it.
Yeah, well, the winner drew barrier 4. In the placings were barrier 3 and barrier 2, so it clearly was advantageous to be on the fence in the run. But a street 4 was Rekindling, Johannes Vermeer, Max Dynamite and Big Duke. Nikita did a fantastic job to come from well back into the field to run 5th. And there's plenty of international imports there that are filling the top half of this field, getting down to Wall of Fire, who was 16th. And then for those who are wondering who finished last in the official sweeps, it was Galante, who was tailing off a long way from home.
He'll be too honest, you know, not over race, but he said he'll be way too honest, and he said if you get him to relax, he will hit the line very, very well, especially with the 51.5 kilos on his back. I was a little concerned when we got up onto the course proper because I could see a ton of runners in front of me and the speed was like really cracking along, and I thought I'm going to end up worse than midfield where I didn't really want to be. I was happy to be near the fence because I thought the fence played like that's where you needed to be. And then again over and again, and they went at a nice clip. It wasn't excessive, but it was just nice enough for my bloke to get into a good rhythm and yeah, basically be in the right position.
When you got inside the final 1,000 metres and your horse was still travelling so well, is that when your confidence levels really started to build?
Once I got through where the scrimmage was at about the 1,400, 1,200, that's when I started to gain confidence because he was travelling so sweetly. I just knew I needed luck, but Hartnell, he was a bit of a key for it. He sort of started to drop off, and I sort of squeezed on through and got inside him and got into the position I needed. I really didn't want to be on that part of the track because it seemed to be favouring inside runners, but once I squeezed through with the 51.5 on his back, I knew that I was going to be very, very hard to hold out. I bided my time. They always talk about the clock tower. I think I went a little bit sooner than the clock tower, but no, it's just good. And this is the first time I've actually watched the replay, so...
As you see over the last 200 metres, Johannes Vermeer, who Ben Millam, give him credit, he's given that horse every conceivable hope. I think he's just been beaten by a better stayer.
100%, and you know what, I spoke to Ben Millam after the race, and he did say to me, he said, if something had been further out in front, he got there a little bit soon, but he said there was nothing out in front of him as a target that he could chase, and he said if he had had a target, he said, I reckon I would have beat you, but I tell you, my bloke was strong. Although he's a 3-year-old horse, but he actually feels more of a 4-year-old. He's pretty professional and he's pretty seasoned.
So Bowman and trainer Huey Morris in regards to the favourite, the Melbourne Cup favourite Marmello, and Huey Morrison basically just said that he's convinced the horse ran flat today. He's run well below his form on paper, and going back to Friday, he actually was a little bit concerned, and he certainly was flagging that as a potential issue to warn punters that this horse does have a record of being a little bit flat second up, and that's exactly what we did see today. I also spoke to Blake Shin about Humidor. He said he didn't feel the horse ran out the 2 miles, but Darren Weir was a little bit of a differing opinion in the sense that he just thought the horse ran way too bad to blame that as the main reason, and instead just thinks that the Caulfield Cup run and then the second against Winks may have taken it out of him, and he's had 2 huge runs, and then we've seen what we saw from him today. But also just a couple of little excuses. Glenn Boss said that Ventura's Storm got his tongue over the bit at some stage throughout the running, had no oxygen, was making some strange noises, therefore you'd think he'd choke down, and certainly an excuse. Single Gaze Vets reported that she's pulled up lame in the near fall.
All right.
Frankie Dettori, Almandin.
I was stuck 3 wide, but the horse was flat. He never carried me today, and he ran like a flat horse.
Damien Lane, Hartnell.
Yeah, unfortunately, he probably didn't see it out today. He settled into a lovely rhythm and probably good.
Glenn Schofield, Nikita.
Yeah, super run. He just kept coming strongly. It was a good run.
Breton Abdallah, Big Duke.
Yeah, he was awesome. Look, had a perfect run, ended up following Corey through and thought I was half a chance. The nerves started to kick up a bit, big excitement around the corner, but he ran out of his credit.
Ben Mellam, Johannes Vermeer.
He had a great run throughout. Spending the money at the field, I thought we were home, and probably just the weight was the difference.
Corey Parrish, Boom Time.
Yeah, probably just a little bit too small, slower tempo for him. He's probably better suited, maybe that 1.5 miles where it's just not a little bit more speed into the race.
Zach Burton, Max Dynamite.
Yeah, excellent run. It was very brave. You know, he took the tight run when I asked him to, and I thought when we got through there would fight, but you know, he's a bit old now. It was a terrific effort anyway.
Blake Shin, Humidor.
Look, he just doesn't run 2 miles. Simple as that. Give me a nice ride for out.
Karen McAvoy, Red Cardinal.
We moved into it with nice progression around the corner and got in the clear, and then he just probably felt the ground the last furlong and a half, so, you know, proud here.
Hugh Bowman, Marmello.
I expected a bit more. I mean, I had to make a little bit of use of him early, but I was in a nice position. He relaxed well. The pressure built a bit earlier than I would have liked, I must admit, but I thought he would have taken me a bit further.
Dean Yendall.
But European bred horses, first 12 across the line, they've got a massive influence here on the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Thoughts on the Melbourne Cup? It's happened last Tuesday.
Well, we've got all that stats out of our head now anyway, that these things that haven't...
Yeah, put that aside.
There. Look, Rekindling, well, he's a young horse. Who's to say that he can't come back and win another cup? And I thought he was terrific. And Corey Brown, what a story. He's won another cup.
Another one.
And it was just a beautiful ride.
It was a great ride. Classic Melbourne Cup ride, wasn't it? Being tucked away and doing nothing.
And Lloyd, well, good on him.
6.
He lives for it. It's his dream. He spends a lot of money doing it.
And he's got more to come.
Kennedy Oaks, the 159th running of the Oaks, Australia's first Fillies Classic, and it's a time-honoured race with a race littered with many, many champions that have come through it.
Thanks, Shane. Well, punters are thinking back 12 months ago to when Yankee Rose got toppled as a very short price favourite. Not quite as short as Aloysia, but they're just a little bit scared to tumble in. She got into as low as $1.50 did Aloysia, but she's just getting back out now to $1.65, which is probably the quote that she was or has been for most of the week since markets went up. You can see there 150 this morning out to 165, but she's still the best back runner at Bet365. There's plenty of support for the second favourite, Pinot. She's going to roll forward. We know how hard and tough these Waterhouse and Bott runners are. Very hard to run.
It's been a great race for them, and she just looks on mathematical terms a good thing, doesn't she? Pinot can give you a great
Shane today, and they're backing up with another beverage selection here with Pinot, number 4. It's been the best back runner in the last 5 minutes at Bet365 as
Aloysia is getting very agitated. So too Lover next door. Ready, racing. Aloysia jumped well. Lover goes back to about 4th last early. Circle 8 jumped quickly with Rimram from the deep in the blue and High Arm. Aloysia is also going to put up a performance out deeper on the track in the first 200 metres and sit outside the leader. They were followed next in the field by 4 Koalas. 2 further back is Miss Admiration. And they were followed 1 off the fence, leaving the straight by Sweet Mischief a little bit closer. Then came Bring Me Roses. Pinot around those. Lover 3 deep. Towards the end of the field, Reliable Dame, and 2 further back is Lucky Louie. So they head towards the 1900. Rimram in front by a length and a half. Second Aloysia, and Circulators third on the inside, followed by the Bolter. 4 Koalas. Pinot has to slide around them steadily, 3 deep. A length and a half away next on the inside, Miss Admiration. Followed for Lucky Louie as last. Rimram with 1150 metres to go in the Oaks, looking to lead virtually all of the way by a length and a half. To in second Pinot. 2 lengths Aloysia, the outside of Circle 8. Then 4 Koalas, the outsider on the outside of Miss Admiration. Then High Arm, Bring Me Roses, Sweet Mischief, Reliable Dame, Lover, and Lucky Louie is last at the 800. It's Rimram in front, from in second Pinot. Aloysia's trying to get a little bit closer. Is she going to peel out 3 deep? She does. Circle 8 behind them. Lover right around the outsiders, staking a claim, and the race is on for the Kennedy Oaks. Around the turn at the 550. It's Rimram, Pinot, Aloysia 3 deep, and out 4 deep is Lover. They were followed by Miss Admiration and Bring Me Roses. Pinot in the centre and Rimram together. Aloysia and Lover. It's anybody's race. Miss Admiration back to the inner, but Pinot kicks at the 250. Pinot from Rimram, Aloysia, Lover. Bring Me Roses running on. Pinot in front from Lover. Bring Me Roses late, but it's Pinot with 100 metres to go. Pinot a length and a half, and Gay Waterhouse takes the Oaks for the first time. Pinot wins from Bring Me Roses. Third a big go. It's High Arm or Miss Admiration, then Lover, Aloysia, Rimram, a gap, Sweet Mischief. Reliable Dame, Lucky Louie. Further back in the field then was 4 Koalas, and at the end, Circle 8. Pinot has won the Oaks for Stevie Baster at 580 and 170. Pinot has won what turned out to be a thrilling Oaks. Gaywater.
It is you. Well done, Pinot. What a star. Absolutely unbelievable. She leapt out of the gates and went up in the air and missed it by 2, so I was going to go to plan B because she switched off and was going to relax. Thanks, guys. But then I saw Aloysia up outside the leader, and I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to out-sprint it from back here, so I went round them and went against everything I've been taught as a jockey, and went up there and put the pressure on them, and then we got an easy half mile. There, and she relaxed so well off the other horse, and when they came, I still knew I had gears left. I was going really well, and she's just a dead set star. had a wonderful carnival. Can you believe the success?
Sprouted late in the piece to grab third, with Aloysia missing the place as a short price favourite. She ended up jumping Gator $1.80.
Yeah.
There was that drift because we had the drama pre-race where she was being re-shod, which caused a delay, and that's not ideal for a filly who can get a little bit flighty too, you know, on race day.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it was necessarily helpful, and I think the stable sort of backed that up, but it was one of many factors that may have come to the fruition where she was below her best today. She's finished in that group, hasn't she? Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. They've all crossed the line together.
Let's have a look at the full race replay from the think about it, act slowly, allow her to work into the race. And you can see Aloysia, the short price favourite, she's 3-4 wide there as Luke Nolan's asked her to go forward and sit up outside the leader as they go around the bend.
Yeah, she didn't have the most peaceful run the first couple of hundreds, Aloysia, but it pales into insignificance compared to the run that Pinot had. I mean, she had missed a start, as you mentioned, third and fourth last. She's had to work around the outside of the field, you know, and then go up and sit second. Then, coming to about the 800 there were moves from the back, so I thought those on speed were left vulnerable, left you know, with a sitting duck, but she's been able to kick on and win well. The more I look at the race and the replay, I think the winner's been completely dominant.
He'll join me on the host set.
Stick it out, but what happened pre-race it's never ideal, so probably no good for anyone that took the shorts on her, but she travelled. We had a sound run in the race. Travelled up well behind the winner. Blake Shin rounded me before straightening and poured a bit more pressure on, but we still travelled well before that stage. Just when I asked her, she didn't have a normal zip, and I don't know if she was exploited because we're at the 2,500 metres or things didn't go her way. So probably haven't answered every question. We might have another go at a mile and a half come the autumn.
Luke Curry, bringing me roses.
Yeah, she ran great. She still tugged a little bit down the back, but I thought she was going to win at the top of the straight, and you know, winner just kept kicking. It was too good.
No.
Basta trusted, you know, the fitness of the filly, and she was just sensational. And Aloysia, we all hate that changing and shoeing and all that, but you can't use that as an excuse. She was enormous performance by Pinot.
And for Huey, of course, he's won 3 of his 4 starts down under here in Australia. He's into $3 now. He did get out to $4 at one point in betting, and as you can see, though, trimming up this morning into $3.60 and now a $3 chance. Good support here for Huey, shooting for his 4th win from just 5 starts. Dense markets went up earlier this week. Is number 4, Vonja Mask. Of course, he won the Geelong Cup. He tried to force his way into the Melbourne Cup field last Saturday. Alarming was supported earlier this week. He's just getting back out to his original quote, and maybe half a point more there.
For probably another 6, but he's the one that continues to win. I'm not sure many of these could run 4th in a Melbourne Cup, although Big Duke just did, and that comes through the Mini Valley Cup. So Wheel Leisure, I think, is the live danger. Veng Mask.
Thanks, Shane. Clearly the best back. Thanks, Shane. Clearly the best backed runner through our betting, and again in the last 5 minutes has been number 4, Vonja Mask, or Venga Mask, if you'd like to call the Mike Moroney trained galloper that. He's a tough on-speed galloper and punter.
Ready, and they're racing. Violates took a backward step and is being roused early. Grey Lion began well straight to the front from Vonja Mask, and Huey's going to slide up to 3rd, and they were followed by Violate in the grey jacket trying to cross. Kawai's kicking up underneath of it, and Wheel Leisure on the inside from Betty Ray Ruby. Next in the field is Tunes, and then came Cool Chap, and Gallic Chieftain on the fence is last. Chieftain, 1,200 metres to go in the time on it, Queen Elizabeth, and it's Vonja Mask in front by 3/4 of a length. Second is Huey. Grey Lion 3/4 of a length away, 3rd the rails, and they were followed by Violate. Wheel Leisure the inside of Kawai at the 1,000 from Betty Ray Ruby, and they were followed by Tunes. 2 further back to Cool Chap and also Gallic Chieftain. So heading towards the half mile, it's Vonja Mask looking to lead all of the way, but Huey's got something to say about that. Getting a bit closer the outside, about a neck away. Violate about to make a line of 3. Grey Lion behind those horses. Then Tunes, who tracks up 3 deep. Kawai the centre with Wheel Leisure needing a run behind them, followed by Cool Chap, Betty Ray Ruby, and at the end of the field is Gallic Chieftain. Around the turn at the 500, Vonja Mask, Grey Lion, Huey under the whip. Violate the outside joins in. Wheel Leisure runs up behind them. They sprint away from Kawai, Betty Ray Ruby. Vonja Mask kicks at the 250, but Grey Lion is hanging tough on the outside. Grey Lion and Vonja Mask. Wheel Leisure runs up behind them, off their heels now. Vonja Mask and Grey Lion, 100 to go, then Wheel Leisure, but Vonja Mask is kicking boldly. Vonja Mask just in front of Grey Lion, a tough winner. Vonja Mask won the Queen Elizabeth from Grey Lion, Will Leisure. Gallic Chieftain or Violate for 4, and they were followed by Kiwi and Kawaya. They finished together just like the Bendigo Cup, but they were well down the field today. And then Betty Ray Ruby, Cool Chap and Tunes. Vonja Mask, Patrick Maloney for Mike Moroney. And it's a unique treble for Patrick during the carnival. The Linlithgow with Rich Charm, the Greys race with Tribal Wisdom, and now the time-honoured Queen Elizabeth. Vonja Mask, the winner, has done it all to fight. The Geelong Cup winner with a big double. The Geelong Cup into the Queen Elizabeth. Second, Grey Lion. Number 7, Geordie Childs for Matt Kamani, and Wheel Leisure.
Deserved winner in Vonja Mask.
Yeah, that's right. Look, it's hard to take anything away from him. He did it all from the front, didn't he? You know, you look at the overhead on the inside shot, and he was clearly joined or probably headed, but his will to win in the last sort of 6 months, he's gone to another level in that department.
All right, well, so we have a look at...
First time I saw him on track.
Yeah, well, connections have now advised that Kiwi will be retired, but Vonja Mask is going from strength to strength. Let's hear from the winning ride. Could be a lot more to come.
That's right, and he ran well in the Caulfield Cup last year, remember, and that race, you know, rated quite well. He wasn't beaten all that far, but he's no doubt he's a better horse now, and Mike's backed that up.
What a carnival.
Out on getting into the Melbourne Cup, bit of a consolation winning the Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. It was a big consolation winning the Queen Elizabeth. I thought he's always showed nice ability early on in a preparation, but he outstayed these horses. He was just too tough and too strong in the end, Ron. And Grey Lion there running second. I thought that his performance was good, but all about the winner. I thought it was a really strong win.
Yeah, we were doubting that Lexus form, but he proved there that he was primed to run well in the Cup if he'd won that race. That's the typical Moroney timing for the Melbourne Cup. But anyway, they got a consolation there. Kiwi's retired after that, so they've decided to, I don't know why, but they've decided to retire Kiwi there.
Well, he's 8 years old now.
Yeah, I suppose so. He's done a great job.
And he's done a great job. Geelong Cup, he won the Geelong Cup, Sandown Cup, and now the Bendigo
fourth
Cup.
in a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, been very good.
Once went up 6, got out to 7, and now into $5. Savapinski, who will roll forward as well as the stable typically do. $8 earlier this week, now into $5. Real good push for those two runners. Obviously, Tahani, she's nice and solid. All the business has already been done on.
Racing immediately, Smart As You Think from barrier 1, jumped away well. So too Prompt Response, who was away with zest, and on the outside, Token of Love, Tahani between them, looking for a position. Out wide also pushing up is Savapinski, and then Cedar Grand Star Patriot from Consomateur. Flying Jess next on the inside. Second last is Payroll, and Heavens Above whips them in, heading towards the 1,600 metres. So a bit of pressure up front, but Savapinski eventually is going to lead by a couple of lengths. Token of Love, and then Tahani by the 900 metres. Next, Heavens Above. Payroll second last, and Consomateur is at the back. So the leader, Savapinski, at the 700 metres by a length. 2 in second, Token of Love. 2 lengths Tahani, third Every Chance on the outer of Smart As You Think, and then came Prompt Response. Further back, Cedar Grand, Flying Jess, the rails from Heavens Above. Payroll a fair way off them, then Star Patriot. Consomateur is last into the straight. As they reach the 450, it's Savapinski from Token of Love. Under the whip, Smart As You Think. Tahani presents to the outside. Prompt Response is there too. Payroll looks to run on. Heavens Above right down the outskirts, but Savapinski kicks. 200 metres to go. Savapinski 3 lengths in front of Token of Love, Tahani, Prompt Response, Payroll, Heavens Above, but Savapinski with 100 metres to go has a big margin on them. 3 lengths in front of Payroll, Token of Love, and it's all Savapinski. She bolts in. Second, Payroll. Third, Token of Love. Fourth, Prompt Response from Heavens Above, Tahani. Then came Consomateur, Smart As You Think, Cedar Grand, Flying Jess, and Star Patriot. Savapinski, Brenton Avdella has absolutely given them an exhibition here today. That was a clinic. Savapinski, trained by Gay Waterhouse, and Adrian Bott has led all of the way virtually. Just had to do a little bit of work to get to the front, but then she was able to run the race the way she likes. Terrific week for Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. Supported as well on the VOPs 550 into 480. Win 4 at start. Number 7, the Savabeel mare. for Dynamics Indications. 10.592 confirmed. 10.
The stable's in form, and they've got a pretty good horse here in the Matriarch Stakes. Gator, this was a really solid performance by a pretty progressive mare in Savapinski.
Look, she was excellent today. The clock's there to back her up relative to the other 2,000-metre race, which is Group 1 weight for age stars. It was only her 7th career start. Most of these have reached the level they're going to reach, Shane. She's got some upside still, and it was her first time at 2,000 metres. She sustained speed all the way around. I think the win was excellent, one of the better wins of the day.
Yeah, we heard from Brenton Avdulla, Jane, in the post-race, and we'll hear more from that shortly, but he felt 2,000 metres is always going to be the right trip for her. A daughter of Savabeel, and physically, I think there's a lot more development to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I think she's going to strengthen up and mature even further. You've got to remember she's only a 4-year-old, and as you've discussed, she's only very lightly tried. So to be doing what she's doing at this stage of her career, there is plenty of upside with her.
Yeah, she ran good time. Let's hear from Brenton Avdulla and also
for Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott and Stephen Baster.
What a combination! Isn't this the most improved mare in Australia? This is a pretty good horse. This Savapinski. She's gone from strength to strength. It looked a target race for her. Typical Waterhouse, Bott, and even Baster style. They've had a great carnival, and this filly primed up for the day and simply toys with them over the 2,000 metres here.
There was something in the steward's report for Heavens Above.
Heavens Above.
Pulled up. I did read that. There was it pulled up lame or something. I just think she's a miler anyway, but she did pull up. There was something in the steward's report.
Yeah, revealed the mare to be lame and had on the lame in the right 4 and had slower than normal recovery.
And was Tahani?
Tahani was she was better suited to shorter distances.
Oh, OK, I thought there was something else in that.
At Flemington, not too far away from the Group 1 Darley Classic, and a spectacular Vega Magic, but I'm really looking forward to this contest as we head back out to Flemington.
Of Red Zell, they're loving it, just being a part of the Group 1 Darley Classic at Weight for Age, and the movement to this race to the final day of the carnival has been a wonderful success story. All right, let's get a market up
from Sportsbet. So let's have a look at the Darley Classic, the big Group 1 sprint. And well, Red Zell, he went up 370 favourite, and he's on a slight drift out to $4. Red Zell, he's won his last 5. He's a winner down the straight. So we put up Chautauqua $7, and we said, Australia, how much do you love him? And they went bang. Chautauqua has been the best backed in the Darley Classic. He is a fan favourite. $4.
One is Chautauqua for Team Hawks, ridden by Dwayne Dunn. This has been a bit of a bogey race for him over the years, Gator, but there's huge money for him. $5.50, got into $4.80, just easing now to $5.
Look, he's not as young as he used to be, but we're all getting a bit older as a rising 8-year-old, but he still can produce these amazing fractions at the end of his races.
He just in 2012 with Mental. They're back again with Red Zell, who's become one of the best sprinters of modern times. A terrific winner of the Everest last start. He's $4.20 into $4.
Yeah, you're right. What a gun sprinter he has become. Unpolished early, but in the last 12 months, he's won 6 of 8 with 2 photo seconds. He'll give you a great side again.
Into $3.80 now, so he's got his supporters to make it 6 in a row. But quite clearly, the public just love Chautauqua. He's our worst result at Sportsbet, the big grey
race. What a fantastic race it is. I thought Impending was the value here. I think his last couple of dry track runs have been outstanding, and I think he's over his true odds. He might be the emerging one. Red Zell won't let you down. Chautauqua can fly late, and Vega
sets, and they're racing. Miss Rockaway only fairly. Red Zell out very well indeed, and initially they're going to split. Redkirk Warriors coming up the inside, 4 heading over to the other side. Vega Magic, Miss Rock in that division as well, and also over there Rock Magic leading the brigade out here. It's Red Zell in front of Super Cash, and they were followed by Impending in that group of horses, followed by Malaguira. Spieth behind them from Clearly Innocent, and they were followed by Man from Uncle Chautauqua, and at the end of the field Terra Vista. At the 650 over on the flat side, it's Vega Magic, Redkirk Warrior, Miss Rock, and also Rock Magic. Onto the course proper. On the grandstand side, it's Red Zell in front of Impending, Super Cash, followed next in the field by Spieth. Chautauqua was working into it, and further back Clearly Innocent, and back behind them Malaguira. Over on the far side, Vega Magic, Redkirk Warrior, and Miss Rock. Red Zell leads the division out here with Super Cash and Impending over on the far side. It's Rock Magic, Miss Rock, and Vega Magic. Red Zell over here, just in front. Terra Vista's flying home, but Red Zell's in front. A marvellous sprinter. Red Zell, 3/4, Terra Vista Impending, and for 4th the photo, Chautauqua or Rock Magic or Clearly Innocent. Then Vega Magic, Super Cash, Malaguira, Man from Uncle, and then well back, Redkirk Warrior pulling up quickly. A long last was Spieth. Redzel, Karen McAvoy and Peter Snowden won this race with Mental back in 2012, but Redzel has led the division on the grandstand and they couldn't run it down. And what a stellar spring. The Everest, the shorts, and now the Dali. Redzel defeating Terra Vista, who has run out of its skin, returning to some sort of top form that we know Terra Vista's capable of, at a massive price and impending, and they're going to be 1, 2, 3 on the grandstand side. As we stand by for the placings, it'll be Redzel.
He's the best sprinter in the country. It must be amazing to be part of it.
Yeah, it is. He's unassuming horse. He's, you know, he surprised us where he's got to, but he's taken it all before him now, and he's racing in great heart. He's been winless now for 6 races, and his record's fantastic. He's just getting better and better, and that's all due to the fact that, you know, the Snowdens and the Triple Crown boys are patient and reaping the rewards now, mate.
The best asset that
he be a part of his
$1 million, 11 wins and 5 placings from 21 career starts. It's his second Group 1, and of course he also won the Everest leading up to this. It was an outstanding on-speed performance in a very slick 108.74. David Gately, there's no doubt about it now, he is the #1 sprinter in the country.
Yeah, he has the title, there's no doubt about that. He's done it all on his own out in front, and he's just kept running. He's run slick time, as I say, he hasn't had a tag into it. He's run that time himself, and Terra Vista turned back the clock, got off their heels and hit the line hard, and Impending, who was ridden closer to the speed, he gave his all, but he just couldn't match motors with the winner, Chautauqua, flying home late down the outside with clearliness. He's become a star of the Australian turf, winning the Everest, of course, and then into the Dali Classic. He's won 7 of his last 9, so 7 of 9 in the last 12 months. His 2 misses, he's been beaten in a tight photo finish, and he just looks to be getting better and better. And the clock doesn't lie, does it? 1:08.74 with a terrific gallop. 3/4 by 3.
Because he's proven today he's without a doubt the #1 seed in sprinting.
Well, I thought he did that in the Everest the other day, and I thought the hype around, he needs to prove himself again, and that's what this horse keeps doing. He keeps stepping up, he keeps proving all the doubters wrong, and keeps getting it done by a professional performance. Jump, led, just speed, sustain speed, and just finish it right off. So I was just saying, the caller was cool on the inside. I don't think he was ever headed. He was always in front in my mind, and it's a dominant win again.
Isn't he a special horse? He just keeps buttering up.
I should enjoy every win, and it's good to see him get the enjoyment they do out of them.
2 Group 1 wins. He's won the Everest. What's the future hold now for Redzel? Could he go on the global stage?
Who knows? It's the mind. The owners have already said they want to have another go at the Everest. It keeps getting more and more money, so there's no need to travel when we've got so much money here in Australia. But he's a 5-year-old. Hopefully he stays sound, and there's another 2 or 3 years of good racing left in him.
Could you get more out of him over the next?
And in the end, Redzel and Terra Vista Quinella, the Group 1 today after they Quinellaed the 1,000-metre sprint race on Oaks Day last year.
Good point, Haley. You've seen some dominant sprinters around the world. Just the campaign he's had. Every time he steps out for Peter and Paul Snowden, he puts himself on speed, and he just keeps giving his all, and they just can't get him.
Yeah, they've done a terrific job, haven't they, with keeping him fresh and competitive, and he's just got so much natural speed. This horse absolutely cruised into it and then was just able to see it out the line as well. And you could say, good assistance with coming over to getting that stand side rail, but I just think that he was out there doing all the hard work and he stuck to it. He's a really lovely horse, and it'll be great to see where he turns up next.
It's one of the great stories. It was an orphan foal, Redzel, who was eventually sold for $120,000 through the Magic Millions Gold Coast yearling sale, and he's now amassed $7.8 million in prize money from 11 wins from 21 career starts. Let's hear.
Navdala, Terra Vista.
Yeah, he ran terrific. Sort of had a little bit to do with him at home the last couple of mornings, and Joe put the blinkers on him, and they definitely turned him around today.
Damien Lane, Rock Magic.
Yeah, he ran massive. I just needed Vega Magic take me another 100 metres. He got left there on his own. Still managed to run 6. Big run.
Corey Brown, Impending.
Run really well. Thought the speed would have been not a lot faster, but I thought Redzel would have gone along a little bit, but he had a soft, easy run up in front where he was, and we tacked onto his back, but he was just too brilliant over the final stages. But more speed in the race, it would have made it interesting.
Blake Shin, Clearly Innocent.
Great run, a little bit sharp for him over 1200, but geez, he hit the line super.
Mick D, Man from Uncle.
Yeah, look, copped a really bad check. Should have finished closer. We would have still been beaten probably a fair bit, but should have definitely been closer.
Brad Rawiller, Spieth.
Yeah, look, he, coming onto the course proper, I thought we were coming into it still nicely, but he ended up just cantering from the last furlong. So, we just see how he cools down in the next 24 hours.
Today.
Regan Bayliss, Redkirk Warrior.
Yeah, I was worried 200 metres after the start. He just never sort of towed me into the race.
He's probably come to the end of it, guys. He probably wasn't suited by the straight. I was the first to engage, and he laboured a long way out. But he's had a good prep, so there'll be curtains, and there's good sprinting options for him come the autumn.
Dwayne Dunn, Chautauqua.
Yeah, tempo wasn't great early for him. He travelled well. He just didn't have that customary sprint that we know he can have, and he just battled it out to the line.
Timing provided by Trackers after this race was first 600, there you can see 34.71 out of the gates. Yep. And almost identical time last 600 off a rolling speed, 34.03. So Kieran McAvoy has just timed this to perfection. He conserved enough energy without going too hard to have something left at the finish, but he didn't go too slow to allow the back markers to get close enough to him to use their turn of foot. He's done a fantastic job on this horse in the past couple of starts, and he should be well rewarded for this ride.
100%. And look, to be fair though, he's got the horse to do it. Yep. He can bound out and do it. Sometimes with those on-speed horses, if they half miss the kit, you've got to dig them out, and then they want to over-race a bit, and you don't want to fight them, so they end up going a little bit too quicker through that first section. As you pointed out, the 34.71, they just shave half a second off that, and all of a sudden they're a little bit vulnerable. So I think definitely a 10 out of 10 ride from Kieran, but also this horse is just at the peak of his powers. And I think what Peter Snowden said post-race is that he's just underrated. And I think because he's just taken so long, BZ, to get to this level, that people are still sort of.
Isn't he? Red Zell, he's an absolute beauty. 6 straight, would you believe that? And the prize money that he's amassed now is just incredible. Full steam ahead, I would suggest, for next year with him. Yeah. With the money on... who's to think that what he could end up with prize money with the money around for sprinters these days? That's right. Well, Lizzie, he'll be targeted now at next year's Everest, but on the way he could pick off a TJ.
Yes, exactly right. He's got to be the most improved horse in Australia, hasn't he? He's just, and I remember when we did the program with Peter and Paul and Chris Ward, having a look at him, and I said to you yesterday, he's not very big and he's very unassuming, but geez, he just breaks their hearts, doesn't he? And he just keeps going, and yeah, fantastic, great. It was very good also for the Everest for him to go on and win, because it just shows how strong that form was, and he's carried on winning.
Well, very important. I think it made that race. Yeah.
The Everest did, for sure.
Yeah, that was a great field.
Out of any race, doesn't he? He makes his own.
Well, that's his strength. He pings the barrier. He conserves energy. He loves to sit on he can either sit on a girth and sprint, or he can make his own luck and sprint. And I think the lead up for that race yesterday actually was 12 months ago. I think it might have been on Oaks Day, where he beat Terra Vista down the straight that day. Yep. And to think that they've come out and did that in Nadali is just amazing.
Great. We have to.
Warrior and Miss Rock. Red Zell leads the division out here with Super Cash and impending over on the far side. It's Rock Magic, Miss Rock and Vega Magic. Red Zell over here just in front. Terra Vista's flying home, but Red Zell's in front. A marvellous sprinter. Red Zell 3/4, Terra Vista impending, and for fourth a photo Chautauqua or Rock Magic or Clearly Innocent. Then Vega Magic, Super Cash, Malaguira Man from Uncle.
Red Zell, what about the Beaten Brigade?
Well, Terra Vista was just sensationally, for Joe, he's always had confidence in him, and he tried a new trick with the blinkers with him yesterday, and it nearly paid off. He's run the race of his life running second there, the old boy, and there's still life in him yet, that's for sure. Impending, just over-raced, was a little bit fresh throughout that race, and I think there's thoughts that he'll go to Perth now, and he'll be very, very competitive. That was only his second up run. He's on fresh legs. Obviously, the others will go for a spell there. Chautauqua just needs to sting out of the ground in these type of races now.
He just can't make up that ground when it's so firm, and they're running such slick sectionals. He just can't make up the ground. But I still think he's going well. Yeah. I mean, that last 50 metres, you could see that acceleration, but the race was all over.
He was in touch too, wasn't he?
He was. Up now at 2,000 metres and around that $10 mark represented good value, in my opinion. Folkeswood, Galo Shop and Happy Clapper, the next best. But with the Darren Weir trained...
Wait for this race. What a race it is. The Emirates Stakes, Group 1, 2,000 metres with $2 million in prize money on offer. It's time for a market update.
$5.50. Well, I can tell you now, Cliff's Edge got no friends whatsoever, the 3-year-old with the 51 kilos, and it's Folkswood who is your favourite, $4.80 now. The only concern is the wide gate. Can Kieran McAvoy get across and get him in? Well, one punter said he just won on Red Zell. He's a genius, the bloke. I'll have 20,000 the win. Thank you very much on Folkswood. $4.80 and your favourite.
Group 1 Emirates Stakes, $2 million in prize money, of course, registered as the LKS McKinnon Stakes. For the second year, it has been run on the final day of the Emirates Melbourne Cup Carnival, and we're going to...
Needing the luck from that outside barriers, but the punters are happy to stick with them. Now, I mentioned to you Ginger Nuts. We're giving you the best price at Sportsbet. Bet with the best at Sportsbet, punters. And you're listening. $6 into $5.50, and we're giving you the best price, so better up if you want to back the New Zealand champ. $5.50. Tosin Stardom's had specking as well as Galo Chop. Now, Tosin just gets a beauty
of Emirates Stakes it is this year. And Ginger Nuts, Tosin Stardom, Galo Shop. The
information to hand, we will relay that, but an injury, I believe, for Ginger Nuts, and the saddle has come off. We are likely to have him scratching out of the race. We'll just have that confirmed shortly. David Gately.
Here's a replay of him just trotting around to the start, and he just changing his action a little bit. Just pulls up really quickly, and jockey knows something's amiss. Yep, and limping noticeably there, and obviously not ideal scenes for all involved. And yeah, it's official now. Yeah, to get him off the track somehow. So that'll be the delay, Shane.
Yeah, look, it's terrible luck for all involved. He's a high-class galloper, Ginger Nuts, of course, a Rosehill Guineas winner. And there was a bit of confidence about his chances today. Plenty of money for him too, $6 into $5.50. We hope that there is no...
Set, and they're racing. Pretty good line. Samovar's going back to the end. Tosin Stardom second last. Odeon began well with the Taj Mahal, and also Galo Chop out 3 wide as they complete the first 200 metres of the race. Folkswood's wide, and just behind them with also Sosi Bon, and also pressing on out deeper on the track is Cliff's Edge as they settle down. So as they head towards the 1600 metre marker, it is Galo Chop in front of the Taj Mahal and Cliff's Edge, and then came Odeon behind them from So Galo Chop, who won this race 2 years ago when it was on Derby Day, leads by a length to in second Cliff's Edge. The Taj Mahal, third the inside of Folkswood at the 1200, a length to Odeon, and they were followed by It's Somewhat the outside of Sosi Bon, a length Happy Clapper, a length Tosin Stardom, Sense of Occasion, second last Harlem, 8 off the lead. Samovar is last at the 1000 metres. The front runner is Galo Chop at steady fractions, 3/4 of a length to the 3-year-old Cliff's Edge. Folkswood third, 3 deep, the Taj Mahal behind those horses. Then came Odeon fifth, 1 off from It's Somewhat, who's 3 wide with a truck up from Sosi Bon, Happy Clapper. Then Tosin Stardom, Sense of Occasion, Harlem, and Samovar is last, approaching the turn in the Emirates. 600 to go. It's Galo Chop just in front of Cliff's Edge. Folkswood joining in 3 deep now. It's Somewhat 4 deep, and Odeon underneath of it. Sosi Bon is poised behind them, followed by the Taj Mahal. Tosin Stardom needs an out. Happy Clapper's the widest, followed by Samovar, but Cliff's Edge moves up on the outside of Galo Chop at the 300, followed by the Taj Mahal, Folkswood, and Odeon. A great finish. Cliff's Edge at the 200 trying to shake off Galo Chop, followed by the Taj Mahal, Folkswood and Odeon. Still Cliff's Edge, the 3-year-old. 100 to go. The Taj Mahal, and Tosin Stardom's gone out. Tosin Stardom dropped from the sky and won the Emirates. Tosin Stardom by a length and a half. Second, up for second, Happy Clapper. Then for third, Taj Mahal was prominent. Folkswood, Cliff's Edge not too far away with it somewhat in a great finish. Behind them, Sosi Bon, Galo Chop and Odeon, Sense of Occasion, Harlem, and Samovar amongst the tail enders. Tosin Stardom at 660 and 240. Needed an out at the top of the straight, and there was a wall in front of it, but it's burst through. And at the 2,000 metres has lapped it up. And a pumped up rider, Damien Lane, over the line, lets out a big roar. Just needed to get out. Cliff's Edge was in front, run a gallant race. The Taj Mahal was trying to wear it down. Odeon and Folkswood.
That was explosive. Yeah, the horse was great. Tell you, it would have been a good thing, but if I didn't get out, I had one run close on me and really stopped my momentum, so for him to switch across heels and still win was just massive.
But that's what he can do. He's got a massive turn of foot. He loves Flemington. Once he can wind up, bang, away he goes.
Exactly right, and he's always going to be better suited back to weight for age. The team have obviously done a magnificent job with him.
Any horse he is, Tosin Stardom, 2 Group 1s for the Spring Carnival. He took out the Toorak over 1,600 metres during the Caulfield Carnival. Big handicap, carrying top weight, and today he's won at weight for age with a barnstorming victory. Overall time, 2 2:01.22 in defeating Happy Clapper, who continues his good form of the spring. It's somewhat it's charged late, and the Taj Mahal has boxed on well to hang on for fourth ahead of Folkeswood and Cliff's Edge. Gator, was a race that had it all. We had the pre-race drama and then a dramatic finish. And what an explosive finale there by Tosin Stardom.
Yeah, wasn't it that? Once he saw daylight, that's the word for it, he exploded through and was held up hopelessly. So inadvertently sort of saved up, so that, you know, that gives him the ability to explode. And being a Group 1 class horse, he was able to produce that and rush through to take out the Group 1. What a terrific win. And Damien Lane, cool as ice. They are moving in.
Cliff's Edge at the 200, trying to shake off Galo Chop, followed by the Taj Mahal, Folkeswood and Odeon. Still Cliff's Edge, the 3-year-old, 100 to go. The Taj Mahal, and Tosin Stardom's gone out. Tosin Stardom dropped from the sky and won the Emirates. Tosin Stardom by a length and a half. Second, up for second, Happy Clapper. Then for third, Taj Mahal was prominent. Folkeswood, Cliff's Edge not too far away with it somewhat.
Great call there, Matt Hill, well done. And didn't he emerge late with that great turn of acceleration, Tosin Stardom?
It was one of the harder races you'll call, because you've got to keep looking at the leader, but you knew all the time that Tosin was going to get out, or at least try and get out at some point. But it was just a terrific race. I mean, you could actually hear in the background the crowd really revving up as Folkeswood joined in on the turn, and then Odeon looked a little chance there for a moment. Then we were sort of almost hailing Cliff's Edge, and the Taj Mahal was right up there. That was just a top-class race and an absolute beauty. And I mean, it's a race that we've only seen on final day now twice, and you know, it's living up to its billing as the top-class race on the final day.
Haley, we saw the proven Group 1.
You know, we've seen it at home. The blinkers have gone on at the right time, switched him on. Obviously, stepping to 2,000, you know, I guess myself a little bit of a head scratcher last Saturday. But in that race, they just seemed to jump out and get in their position, and then they just stayed there. So I said to Jared, I'm keen to back him up, and Jared said, well, there's no reason why you wouldn't. And he's had a great week, and it's great thrill, and great for a horse with such a great pedigree to be able to deliver on the big stage, I guess.
It's been first arrived in Australia with you. He ran so well at the Dato Tanchinam, and then he's had injuries and niggles and things that just haven't gone to plan. But this spring, it's all seemed to map out beautifully for him.
Yep, this spring has. Nothing's gone right before this spring, to be honest. Like, we ran him at Moonee Valley, he ran great, and we put him on the float to go to Sydney, got off the float, cut his leg, and everything that could go wrong with the horse went wrong with it, but they were never serious. You know, it wasn't a knee or a fetlock or a tendon or gone in the wind. They were just niggling problems. And great patient owners, you know, groups from we put a lot of people into the horse, but there's been no pressure from me to race him. You know, if we could put him back in the paddock, we were allowed to, and that's been the key. And this preparation, the consistency of the races has been great for him, you know, fortnight, and then being able to back up a week later after a softish sort of run, I guess, held him in great stead for the day.
The Emirates Stakes.
Blake Shin, Happy Clapper.
Great run, yeah. He hit the line strongly. Winner was just got a bit better run through, but you know, full credit to him. He's backed up again and ran.
Brenton Abdallah, It's Somewhat.
Yeah, he went terrific. Ended up in the 3 wide line on the back of Karen. He wobbled around a bit around the corner here. He just got a bit lost, but his last 100 was really good.
Ben Mallam, the Taj Mahal.
He ran great. He jumped and travelled a lot better today, and he had a beautiful run throughout. I felt he ran as good as he could go, yeah.
So it was pretty hard for me to stuff it up. He was following the right horses. Would have liked a little bit more room in the straight, but he had his chance. But he's going to win a good race, this horse. He's a good horse. His manners were a lot better today with the tongue tie knot on. He jumped good, and like I say, he helped me. So he's got a good race in him. Don't worry about that.
There we have the beaten jockey comments out of the Emirates Stakes. One last point, Ginger Nut's been transferred to the Werribee Equine Clinic, and we'll get further information available from Racing Victoria, and we'll put that out on our racing.com.
At a vital stage, right just about there. And you would have thought, oh, this is
all over.
It's all over. And then he picked himself up, and he really showed his sprint at 2,000 metres here. He was terrific. Happy was great. He just kept coming, Happy Clapper. He's probably 1,800 1300s is probably Happy Clapper's best distance, but he didn't throw it away. He kept grinding away there. There was a pack behind there, but, geez, take nothing away from the winner there. Look, he gets stopped in his tracks at a vital stage and has to pick himself up, and he gets the job done in, I would have thought, grand style. Grand style.
Well, I suppose the news was ginger nuts before the race, wasn't it? That's
horrible.
Yeah, it was not good to see, and was in full view.
He fractured a pastern.
Illustrious Lad is steady as your favourite here, the class runner. Winner at the 1300 at $3.70. There's always been a good push for Ocean Embers, but we're happy to take her on, and also Burning Front. So if you want to back number 1 Burning Front and also Ocean Embers, bet with Sportsbet.
On its toes, and they're racing. Keener Ray flopped out, missed it a length and a half. Jungle Edge out quickly from Burning Front, and also Casino Wizard. Ocean Embers right behind those horses in 4th on the inside of Thronum, followed by Bassett, who's trying to slot in closer to the fence from Keener Ray, and Illustrious Lad is last. Jungle Edge off the rails leads from on the inside. As Bassett from Keener Ray, and Illustrious Lad is at the end. 800 out, Jungle Edge by 2 lengths to Casino Wizard, a length and a half Burning Front. Thronum 4th the outside of Ocean Embers, and they were followed by Bassett, Keener Ray, Illustrious Lad. Up around the turn, 500 metres to go. Jungle Edge for Kevin Forrester, 2 lengths in front from Casino Wizard. Make that 3. They were followed by Burning Front the outside. Next in the field is Ocean Embers, then Thronum, Bassett, Illustrious Lad down the outer from Keener Ray. Jungle Edge tries to pinch it with 250 metres to go. A length and a half Casino Wizard, Ocean Embers, and on the outside Thronum. Jungle Edge approaches the 100. Casino Wizard, Ocean Embers is trying to squeeze through, and Thronum still there. Jungle Edge just in front. Thronum is thrusting. Oh, and Casino Wizard in the middle, but it's a photo. Jungle Edge with Thronum and Casino Wizard, then Ocean Embers. Keener Ray Burning Front behind them, Illustrious Lad, and Bassett at the tail of the field, but Jungle Edge on the inside will hold on. Jungle Edge, number 4, will grip on Kevin Forrester at 10.40 and 2.80. Jungle Edge will lead all of the way. What a great Snow Wizard in the middle has put in a dive as well, but it'll be Jungle Edge holding on by about a half head from Thronum, Casino Wizard, and then Ocean Embers behind them in a good finish. Jungle Edge, number 4, trained by Mick Bell. The gelding by Dubawi out of Jungle Girl, 4, 5, 7 and 8. Head and nose, 4, 5, 7 and 8 after the running of the 4th race on the program. So it's the
Carnival. Bo Guest holds court here at $4 in from $4.80. There's also money for Snitzerpeg, who ran 5th last start after putting a couple of together, and you can see there 5 into $4.80. On the drift is Villamon, but did open up at $15 at Bet365. Got into as low as 6, back out to $8.50. So don't be too perturbed about that drift.
But 2 on top, Bo Guest, I think, can posse up a bit closer today. Snitzerpeg, same boat. They both ran terrific in the Carbine Club. I think the horse
at the $5 mark did touch 480, as we said. Villamont's now plateaued out at that $8 after going up $15 earlier this week. And Peace.
Ready for the Sandown Guineas. Signal. And they're racing. Give towards the inside, away only fairly. I'll have a bit, goes back towards the end. Hypnotist began well from Black Sail, Snitzerpeg, and on the outside, Peaceful Status trying to get a position. Driving through underneath of it, though, is Vinland. Give on the inside, an Icon of Dubai. So no Peace for Peaceful State out wider. Then Beaugest, I'll have a bit, Octobello, and dropping out to the end is Villamont. So Black Sail the leader, 1200 down as Beaugest, 3rd last in fact from Octobello, and 2 lengths to Villamont. To the side of the track, it's Black Sail at halfway in the Sandown Guineas, 3/4 of a length in front of Icon of Dubai. Hypnotist out deeper on the track as they slacken. Snitzerpeg 4 deep, give 5th the inner. Then Vinland, Peaceful State, and further back I'll have a bit, Beaugest. Well back around the turn is Octobello. It's the widest into the straight, and Villamont is last. As they come around the turn, tightly packed down the dip. Black Sail at the 450 from Icon of Dubai. Hypnotist, Snitzerpeg interfered with Vinland trying to get out. I'll have a bit, runs up behind them. with Give. Peaceful State down the outside, followed by Villamont, but Black Sail goes for home. 200 metres to go. Black Sail is 2.5 lengths in front. Vinland is chasing Peaceful State, and here's Villamont right down the outside. Villamont moves up the Black Sail at the 50. It's Villamont over the top of them. Peaceful State late. Villamont beat Peaceful State, Black Sail, and for fourth, Beaugest. They were followed next in the field by Vinland, Give, Octobello, Hypnotist, Icon of Dubai, Snitzer Peg, and I'll have a bit. And in the end, it was a serious race. Villamont, $8 to $7.50 on the official prices, $7.40 on the tote. Has come with a big burst to beat Peaceful State, who's done a terrific job wide the trip and has almost gone with Villamont, and Black Sail, who is being hailed the winner down the dip. Cracking contest to the Ladbroke Sandown Guineas, but Villamont has won at number 9. The colt by All Too Hard came out of that tough.
I was sure he was going to be strong late.
That's the interesting thing about him. He's been able to win this Group 2 feature now, but he still looks a horse who's potentially 12 months away from his best.
It's definitely going to be a better horse in the autumn. We deliberately plan to give him a light spring. We're going to give him a break now and aim at the stronger 3-year-old race in the autumn.
Of course, he's by All Too Hard, who was a champion who stands at Vinery Sud. He's won in the Vinery colours today. It's an important race to get this feature contest on his CV so early.
That's right. He's
with race number 7, one of the Group 2s, the Zipping Classic for $300,000. Our Mandan, the favourite at $2.60. Big Duke, the second pick at $2.90. Big Duke off that 4th in the Melbourne Cup. Brass, that's your best all day.
Yeah, I thought he was the anchor bet. That was a terrific run in the Melbourne Cup, and he puts in all the time. This
market update with Simon Marshall.
Look into the rear vision. There's plenty of punters that do want to have a bet, and it's on Al Mandan at this set weight in this set weight race. So Al Mandan with the 59 kilos expecting to bounce back the good horse, and Damien Oliver
still in the game. 1, 2, 8 and
through for the Big Duke. So Big Duke into $2.80 now. Al Mandan eased out to $3, as you can see. The Taj, well, he's dropped in from $5.50. Has his supporters at
Gent, the Bolters pushing up on the outside. In between horses is a Sign, and the Taj Mahal from the deep, and then Big Duke. Well back in the field early is Sosi Bon, followed by Consomateur, and Barisha is last in the Zipping Classic with a lap of the hillside track to go. So it's Dandy Gent for Dean Yendall in front by a length. 2 in second, the Taj Mahal, and they get away about 4 lengths in front of a Sign, a length El Mandan, 4th the inner. Next in the field is Big Duke, and then Sosi Bon, who covers up Consomateur, and Barisha whips them in as they leave the straight. Heading past the 18, Barisha at the end. Down the long back straight at the 1200 metres at halfway. Dandy Gent by 3/4, the Taj Mahal. 2.5 lengths away, a Sign, 3rd the outside of El Mandan. A length and a quarter to Big Duke, Consomateur from Sosi Bon, and Barisha last heading towards the top corner. Well, Dandy Gent has been taken over now by the Taj Mahal, and the Taj Mahal has taken the lead very early. At the top corner at the 800 metres, strolls out 2 lengths in front of Dandy Gent. A length and a quarter away, a Sign, the outside of El Mandan, followed by Big Duke, Sosi Bon. Consomateur 6 off the lead in an awkward place on the fence, and Barisha is at the end. Around the turn in the Zipping Classic. 600 metres to go. The Taj Mahal from Dandy Gent, who's sticking for the time being. Then came a Sign, El Mandan given a slap with the Persuader, Consomateur. Then Big Duke, Barisha and Sosi Bon, but it's the Taj Mahal. 400 metres to go. Clicked up. Leads by a length and a half to Dandy Gent. El Mandan runs on, followed by Big Duke and Sosi Bon from a long way back, but the Taj Mahal, 200 metres to go, is 3 lengths in front of El Mandan, Big Duke, Sosi Bon, Barisha, but it's all the Taj Mahal. Today, a wonder of Sandown. The Taj Mahal won it by 3 lengths, El Mandan, Big Duke 3rd from Barisha, then Sosi Bon. Next in the field, Dandy Gent, Consomateur and a Sign. The Taj Mahal, Ben Mallam, who has a very good strike rate with the Williams horses. The Taj Mahal has done a good job. Gone to the front at the top turn after Dandy Gent retreated, and has just run them into the ground in the end. The Taj Mahal, a horse who has contested some very good races in its career, such as the Irish Champion Stakes and the Eclipse Stakes at Sandown in the United Kingdom. They're some of the world's top pattern races. And the Taj Mahal, who showed some form in the McKinnon Stakes a week ago, has been too good for El Mandan. And 3rd will be Big Duke. So the main players in the race have run the trifecta in this year's.
The team there to keep, you know, they've
only taken him over in the last 7 days, so they've done a good job to get their head around him, and our Mandan ran well, so it was a good day all round in a race that's very dear to our heart.
It certainly is. We'll talk more about that in a moment.
So it's high on the priority for Lloyd Williams, and he gets it with the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive too. He's obviously come over here with the O'Briens and stays with Team Williams now, and this is a race they love to win, and they've Quinelled it here. And this horse is a very interesting horse. I love his racing style, love the way he quickens, can make a long run on him, and he was too good for the horses out of the Melbourne Cup here in Al Mandan and Big Duke, who they've probably all come to the end of it by this race, but that is a nice young horse, work in progress. Actually heard an interview with Lloyd this morning, and he said on radio this morning that he'd like to target the Taj Mahal and Al Mandan for the BMW, and he also said Johannes Vermeer, maybe the Queen Elizabeth, so that'll be exciting for us if we can get horses of that quality to our carnival.
Out of the Melbourne Cup, absolutely.
Nikita ran very, very well. What about Sosie Bond? Let's have a look at the start of this race. He wants to savage the Taj Mahal, isn't he?
Gee, yeah. He thought it was a chicken leg he was going there. Fair thing.
This? Robbie Lang's colours.
Oh, he's a nightmare horse. This he's had
about 3 or 4 goes there at every part of his body.
Yeah,
he's a problem child, Sosie, but he's a talented horse.
Yeah, he is. He's always been right from the start. I've seen him parade many times, and he's always just
on the railway, where Tom Melbourne is the favourite at $4.80. Blackheart Bart, the second pick, at $6. And Variation, Simon Miller's runner, is the third pick. It's at $9. So they're the top 3 in the market, but there are a number of horses just over that double-figure mark.
Ready, racing here in the railway. Sovereign Nation a little tardy away, settles back there last, and Variation, great shot with the first to get going. Material Man, Scales of Justice commenced well, and so did Tom Melbourne off the inside. Supply and Demand goes forward soon after the start. Gatting, Blackheart Bart quickly over there, just in front of Ullman. A length and a half away when they'd set. And towards the tail end, the grey Punamu, who's back there with Observational as they work down the riverside, and they go by the 900 mark. It's Great Shot, who led the way early in the Railway Stakes. Last year's winner of it, Scales of Justice, up there running second for White. Tom Melbourne in the box seat, and they're being followed by Material Man, and around the outside then came Supply and Demand, who's covered additional ground. A length and a half away is Gatting from Variation. Rawilla's on the move there with Big Barty Boy. He's off around them 3 deep. Blackheart Bart being followed by Ullman. Then over on the inside, Sovereign Nation coming into the home corner, being closely followed then by Disposition. Punamu getting held up all our roads back there in the field as well. Into the home straight at the 350, and Great Shot cornered first. It kicked 2 in front. Scales of Justice. A rails run comes for Tom Melbourne. Here comes Blackheart Bart. Material Man, Sovereign Nation threading his way through, and down the outside Variation. Across the track, Blackheart Bart, Material Man. Great Shot keeps coming. Great Shot, Blackheart Bart. They hit it tight, dead eat. Couldn't pick it. Blackheart Bart, Great Shot in a nail-biter to the railway. Close up, Tom Melbourne is there, and also Material Man battling away. Right behind them, Variation, Punamu. Then Gatting, Sovereign Nation, not far from those. In behind them, Cosmic Storm and Ullman. Then Silver Stream back in the field, followed then by Disposition. All Our Road, Scales of Justice pulled up quickly, Observational, and also pulling up very abruptly past the post is Supply and Demand.
Well, Great Shot number 6 has gone into the frame, has it? Just hold on, there are no numbers up yet. Great Shot or Blackheart Bart. Here's the low shot as he fought on like a tiger here, Great Shot, or as Bart got him. The low shot says inside Great Shot. Bart might have just missed, but there's no numbers in the frame here yet. We've already had a dead shot. Beating Blackheart Bart and Tom Melbourne, another placing back in third spot. Great Shot. Tell us about this Reece Radford, who had to repel these Eastern Staters, but repel them he did, and when we picked them up, there's Great Shot in front. Duff, when they hit the line, I had to double check that it was indeed Great Shot, because I took my eyes off him for just a moment to see Blackheart Bart. Where's Tom Melbourne? And goodness gracious me, Great Shot fights back, and he just keeps on fighting.
Yeah, he's a was a good, strong win. You know, and I sort of pulled the form guide out after the race, saying, "Okay, let's make a case for this winner," which you can usually do once the race is over. Look, he just looked a consistent horse, and he's probably been at the weight for age races. He appreciated getting back to a handicap with 53.5, and boy, oh boy, he just got that rest for about 200 or 300 metres there. That really helped him. But geez, you would have thought they had him at the point, it's probably about here.
Well, there's Tom Melbourne back to the inside. Blackheart Bart had started his run well before the home turn. Material Man inside him in the yellow and black colours. A variation down the outside in the pink and white. Poonamoo the grey getting out late, but great shot. Keep looking at him.
A great fighting win. A terrific win, yeah.
He just kept on going. Blackheart Bart, I think they were all pretty pleased with his brave effort. It's very hard to win the railway with such a weight.
And there was queries about how well he was going into the race, but I think he's come out of the race with flying colours. Obviously, he'll go to the Kingston Town now. And
he's the horse to beat in that.
Well, wait for age. Why wouldn't he be, you know?
Yeah.
That's probably the good leader. I don't know if Tom goes to the Kingston Town or not. He's had a few hard runs.
Good run, beaten 3.5 lengths behind Red Zell, the Everest winner. Number 8, State Solicitor. William Pike rides for Grant and Alana Williams. It's out the door. You can't write a bet for it. $3.10 out to $5. $4.40 out to $5 for the 9 Vidora. 2 Santa Ana Lane is $8 out to $8.50 back into $8. 12 Furic, Damien Oliver with Hayes and Dabney combining, 10 out to 11. Whispering Brooks.
That Rock Magic is now our new favourite at $4.20 in front of State Solicitor at $4.60 and Vidora at $5.
It's noticeable support. Racing in the Winterbottom, and missing it was Furic. Straight back to the tail of the field, Dainty Tess and also Whispering Brook, Kai Perinya. Malibu Style got out very quickly, 4 across the track through the first 200, and Durandal poking up near the fence. Dreamlifter settled behind those, being followed then by Prophet Street. State Solicitor eased back by Pike. Then came the South Australian mare Vidora. Rock Magic went right back at the 800 from Furic, and dropping back last is Santa Ana Lane. It settled the best part of 10 from the lead. 650 to go. The mare Kai Perinya led the way. Comes off the Riverside, 3/4 in front. Malibu Style ridden along to stay with a second. Durandal third down on the inside. Whispering Brook fourth and getting a great run to the corner. Prophet Street's down on the inside from Dainty Tess. Vidora getting up inside of those, travelling well. Starts to shoulder into the clear. State Solicitor still well back in proceedings as Kai Perinya heads for home. On the outside, Durandal, Whispering Brook. Furic has got right up near the rail. Prophet Street's weaving his way through it. Here's the South Aussie mare Vidora. It's Vidora with 100 to go. She bursts through in the middle, races to the lead, and the Winterbottom's all over. Vidora, the pride of South Australia, beat Furic. Durandal third from Prophet Street. Santa Ana Lane from last. Rock Magic, Dainty Test next home. Then State Solicitor. Whispering Brook and the stablemate Kai Perinya. Second last, Dreamlifter. And pulling up at the tail is Malibu Style. Vidora, ridden by Joe.
Australian victory for Vidora in the Winterbottom Stakes, and Lloyd Kennywell, this young South Aussie, has won his first Group 1 as a trainer. Joe Bowditch wins his second as a jockey, and they'll be celebrating in Adelaide tonight. Vidora has won the Winterbottom Stakes and has beaten...
She's been wonderful form this preparation. She's just gone to a new level. Why is that?
Probably for the last 12 months. She had the trip away to the Gold Coast and was runner-up. Probably nearly should have won, just didn't handle the track there the first time round, and since then the rest is history. Her form's been nearly unbeatable, just first or second in great races, and it's the best feeling in the world today to get that off my back, and I'd like to thank everybody that's involved with my team.
Thank you, Wes, and Gareth with Benny Hayes. Furic, you would have torn your tickets up not thinking she could get so close.
Yeah, she was amazing after missing the kick.
And what a first Group 1 to win $1 million race.
Yep.
And he's placed that mare so well and been so close to the mark over the last 12 months. Her record, when you go back through it, is just amazing, actually, and he just knows a lot at the back of his hand. He spaces the runs. I think she was the Moya, 28 days to the Manikato, 36 days to that race with the trip. He just knows that how she reacts for him, and they've got the desired result there.
How's the rain at Rose Hill? It just think everything goes your way, but at Ascot it can get... it can go against you.
Yeah, look, the cambered track, and it can turn ugly, but everything went picture perfect there for that mare. Bowditch knows her well. He knew he was on a well-prepared mare, and boy, when she got in the clear, didn't she sprint? She was so dominant there. Furyk, as she missed the start and probably had little excuses there, but it was hardly an excuse considering the margin of the race. Durandell's battled on okay. The stories of the race were probably the two boom locals, State Solicitor, who had all the raps on him with his previous win, and then you couldn't lay him for any money there at the finish. He was out the gate.
He was blowing like the Fremantle doctor there yesterday. It was $3.20. Next minute it was $5, and in the meantime, Rock Magic was 5 into $4.20, and we had a new favourite. Rock Magic started favourite and pulled up lame. And goes for a spell.
Well, Rock Magic sort of got on the back of State Solicitor
this race, and I think out of the three-year-olds in this race, this is the one to beat.
So $2.90 our favourite is Blackheart Bart for our Group 1 Kingston Town, sponsored by Magic Millions, $2.90. The horse on screen, the 3-year-old filly, is right in the market at $5.50 Perfect Jewel, and she's given a real chance to win here at Weight for Age today. Now into $5, $5.50 into $5. It's somewhat is very solid. It's been $7.50, $7.50, $7. Tom Melbourne is now $8.50. There's money coming for Tom. $10 at best into now.
Alan Matthews joins us here. Pudamoo was the quickest last 600 in the railway.
Yeah, it was. If he could do that again today, we'd be happy. Look, everything's gone right with the horse. Obviously better suited at handicap conditions. He's done all we've asked of him, so really happy with him.
Can he win, Al?
Oh, I'd like to hope so. That's what we're here for.
Jared McLean. Blackheart Bart is our favourite here for the Kingston Town Classic. Now just out to $3. Now the money is really coming for this filly, Perfect Jewel, $5.50 into $4.80. She won't stop. Jewel. Here's Darren for the big one, the Kingston Town.
Star sprung the gates very well. Going up, though, the filly Perfect Jewel, Material Man, and Great Shot is coming over. So's All Our Roads, but it's a compact field. Warilla had to take hold of Blackheart Bart. He'd copped a check early and he dropped back about 6th. Tom Melbourne's gone around the outside of Money Mahur, going up to the back at the 1400. They're being followed when they'd settled down Kingston Town by 1. All Our Roads up running 2nd. Pike was able to get the filly Perfect Jewel into a perfect spot. She's running 3rd on the inside. Abdullah has it somewhat, travelling 4th. Akinar Star down on the inside, going easily from Material Man. No luck for Tom Melbourne, 3 deep. Then came Blackheart Bart. He's got back on the inside and strung up now from Money Mahur. Then came Life Less Ordinary around them, 3 wide from the grey Punamoo. Further back to Cosmic Storm, and last of all is Royal Star as they come towards the 650. The leader is Great Shot, 3/4 clear, All Our Roads. On the inside, Perfect Jewel in a pocket for the moment. It's somewhat running 4th, Tom Melbourne, and then came Material Man. Akinar Star searching for a clear run. Life Less Ordinary over on the outside. Blackheart Bart still back in the field, coming around the corner from Money Mahur. Great Shot led the way. It somewhat comes at it over on the outside. All Our Roads the middle, getting up Perfect Jewel, Material Man behind them, and now Akinar Star's getting through in the centre. Punamoo coming down the outside. They're across the track. Material Man, Akinar Star driving through Punamoo. Akinar Star, Punamoo. It's Punamoo from Material Man grabbing 2nd and Akinar Star 3rd. Over on the inside, Perfect Jewel, Royal Star. It somewhat got tied behind those. Followed then by Money Mahur. Next home, Cosmic Storm, followed by Blackheart Bart. Had the wind taken out of his sails early from Tom Melbourne. Great Shot weakening. Life Less Ordinary. And back at the tail is All Our Roads.
Punamoo, number 5, the grey, has won the Kingston Town Classic. Ridden by Paddy Carberry and Alan Matthews, the winning trainer, has beaten Material Man and Akinar Star, then Perfect Jewel. It's somewhat...
We're just a bit of a bridesmaid today, but we haven't finished further back in 3rd, and Macaulay...
Rough result. It's been tough for punters over there this carnival.
It's looked a very tough carnival. So a few long upset results there. Who would have thought Punamoo winning a big Group 1? But he's been beautifully handled over there. Like you could just seed, been set for that race, third up off a wait for out of the railway, and he produced the goods. But I must say, it was an upset.
Yeah.
Look, it's funny, those two horses, you know, they both had light weight in the railway, and they finished exactly together, and they both went to wait for age there. And to think that, you know, it just shows you the weights aren't everything in racing.
Well, here's Poonamoo the Greys. Material Man is just behind the leading pack, and Akanar Star, who copped interference at that first turn over the crossing at the mile, runs a great race, the 3-year-old, for third. But Duff, here's Poonamoo just getting between the tiring Tom Melbourne, who had been 3 deep, no cover throughout, and on its outside Lifeless Ordinary, who didn't go. And here's Poonamoo launching after Material Man.
Yeah, and look, he was perfectly ridden. They went hard enough up front, and he was presented with an uninterrupted run. There's no doubt about it. Material Man, like I said, there were similar sorts of runs. The thing that I thought the 2 3-year-olds went enormous, really. It's very hard for these 3-year-olds up in distance, taking on some hard heads, and I think they went better than I expected that they'd go in a race like that. I think, obviously, there was a few disappointments in that race. Obviously, the Chris Wallace trio didn't do much, and it somewhat seemed to get into the right position there.
Yeah, look, I thought All Our Roads didn't have to do a great deal of work to cross them and be able to sit outside the leader, but he didn't finish it off at all, but he may be...
And he copped 28 days. We'll show you that. Blackheart Bart on the fence, Akanar Star just outside it, and there's Pike coming across on Perfect Jewel, causing that interference. It happened right at the crossing. We'll slow this down for you a couple of times, but Pike, the turn's coming up, and there's a massive squeeze, firstly on Akanar Star, who runs third, and Blackheart Bart, of course, cops the brunt of it and brushes the rail, and Rawilla ends up a long way back. He was hoping that he has the back of Perfect Jewel, and then they get the back of Great Shot, because he was going to come over and lead. But Pike had a brain fade. He just had a brain fade.
Field is locked away, set for the United Petroleum handicap, 1,000 metres. Gates are back and away. Frankel, My Dear, on the inside, away cleanly. Nature Strip out well, without deeper, pushing it early as Magnorum, and they were followed by, towards the inside, Holy Seal, and then came Valente between horses, Streets of Avalon, Strella, the Regiment, and 2 further back as Frankel, My Dear. Nature Strip off the rails, and also Holy Seal as they come up towards the turn at the 600 metres. A length and a half, Valente, followed by Streets of Avalon and Magnorum, 2 lengths the Regiment, Strella, and Frankel, My Dear at the end of the field at the dip at the 450. Holy Seal on the inside rallies through to lead Nature Strip at this stage by 3/4 of a length. 2.5 Streets of Avalon, Valente, the Regiment, and they were followed by Strella. Holy Seal given a slap with the whip, but Nature Strip goes on by with 150 metres to go. Wants to lug in towards the inside, but absolutely raced away. Look at the turn of foot here. Nature Strip 4 or 5 lengths in front. Jock puts the whip away. That was superb. Nature Strip by 5 lengths. Holy Seal, Streets of Avalon, Valente, Strella, the Regiment, Magnorum, and at the end, Frankel, My Dear. It might be a humble Wednesday at Sandown, but that was tremendous. Nature Strip, Ryan Maloney for Robert Smurden at $1.60, $1.04. But what a way to win $22,000 into the kitty. Ryan Maloney puts the whip away, a little sneak peek over at the screen, and then a little grin. In fact, more than a little grin. 4. Nature Strip, win 3 at start 4. Defeats number 2, Holy Seal, 55.48. 5.5 lengths by a head. 5.5 lengths by a head. 1, 2, 8.
Race 7 of the Gold Coast, $2 million up for grabs. The 3-year-old Guineas at the Magic Millions. And the favourite is the first one we look at, Duff, Pirata, for Greg Hickman and Corey Brown.
Yeah, well, he's cool, calm and collected. Look, he's a very promising 3-year-old who only needs to hold his form and get a trouble-free run to prove hard to beat. First,
Eden Road on our...
It's 1, 3 and 7 as we head to the Gold Coast. The 3-year-old Magic Millions, Tone, and you've got a value bet here.
I thought, our long shot for the day, Belsonic. So tab 6, 1, 15 and 7 the number. Got Sasso Corbaro.
Greg Pirata, Sasso Corbaro, they took the 6 now, 5.50. YPO, 8.50 to 8. And Goodfellow furthering this horse in.
Well, he's pretty stubborn and he's really falling apart.
Right to go, all in the gates.
Holding them. Sets. Light flashes away. Barrier 1 for Pirata. Still holding them here. Racing now. Pirata was away brilliantly down on the inside. Calculated out wide, and YPA, Wild Heart, Goodfella all going forward. Handy as well as Curdle and Sasso Cabarro. Drifting back as Magnified. Bell Sonic. I'm Impinge out very wide. A length and a half to Smart Edge and St. Patrick's Day. Lady Krabilli, Pinch Passion, Seller Girl and Shogun Sons last of all as YPO in front by a length and a half to Sasso Cabarro. Goodfellas over on the inside. Going to fourth as Pirata. He's 3 pairs back over on the inside, though. Calculated's out 3 and 4 wide. Wild Heart. Next place in there down the side, out very deep as I'm Impinged from Curdled. Bell Sonic, St. Patrick's Day, Smart Edge, Magnified, a Pinch Passion. Just in behind those horses, Seller Girl is back at the tail. Lady of Krabilli and Shogun Sons out very wide, about 4th or 5th last. Is YPO just in front from Sasso Cabarro. Calculated's been wide. Pirata still back about 6th over on the inside, looking for the way clear at the 325. YPO just in front here from Sasso Cabarro. Next over on the inside, Goodfella. Pirata's got plenty of room to come through, and Calculated's on the outside. YPO's just in front, but here's Pirata. He got the gap and he darted through. Later's Goodfella, but Pirata's in front. He's a brilliant colt on the bonus goes off. Pirata's won by length and a half to Goodfella. Third Calculated, Photo 4, St. Patrick's Day, YPO. Then Shogun Son, Wild Heart, Sasso Cabarro. Followed by YPO, Pinch Passion, Smart Edge, Bell Sonic. A long way back there was Magnified, followed by Seller Girl, I'm Impinge, Lady of Krabilli, and Curdled about the last one.
The richest cheque ever to be presented to winning owners for a Queensland race, $1.6 million going to Pirata. 1.2 the prize money and $400,000 in bonuses. He's won 3 out of the 4 allotted races, and Corey Brown, could his season get any better? Another rich race, and Greg Hickman, his biggest payday as a trainer. Corey Brown spoke to Bernie Cooper before the race.
Quieter, and his turn of foot's unbelievable. It's electric, you know, when you let him go. So look at him, wouldn't even blow a candle out.
I know, Hickey had him fit.
Hickman to come down to have a chat to us. Corey Brown coming back. This imposing horse, this beautiful animal, Duff.
Yeah, he was just very immature when we saw him in the winter in those 2-year-old races. But he was always going to be the one that was going to...
From the winter, and the first time I've laid eyes on him this prep yesterday, and there's more to come, I think. There's more to come.
Look at the trainer sitting over there.
He's in the pink. A horse like him, there's so many options, and I know you can't take them all. You know, we're coming into a big autumn in Sydney. You got Stradbrokes up here worth millions of dollars, and I don't know if you think he can run a mile. You know, your Doncaster's is a good race for 3-year-olds. So there's so many options. Have you got anything in the back of your head?
Not really. We've just got to keep him nice and sharp, and so if he could become a stallion prospect, we'll sit down in the next couple of days, just like to give him a couple of weeks in the paddock, and we'll just work out where we have to go, and we'll re-plan again.
Greg, he does still look like he's got furnishing to do, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got the feet to fill into, you know, and it's just amazing that he's strong enough to do what he's doing. And in the early days, we'd never been able to work him really hard at all because there was nothing there to work with, and he's just had the ability.
What about the syndicate? How did they all come together?
Oh, well, people talk to each other and they just... He came across with luck. I was just in the star ring and I looked over my left shoulder and there he was, and I had to have him. Didn't have a client, paid $160 for him. Erica thinks I'm mad, and go home and you do your best.
Because 160 is a lot, isn't it?
It is when you haven't got it.
There's a lot of zeros in 106 they had to say behind Corey Brown yesterday.
Jason Collett, good fella.
Good effort. He wanted to sort of went past me pretty quickly, and he said, although he's had a few starts, he is still learning the craft.
Hugh Bowman, Calculated.
Yeah, very pleased with him. He's always shown ability at home, but he hasn't brought it to race day with the exception of his first start. So it was nice to see him perform well here, and that might put him in good shape for the upcoming Sydney Autumn Carnival.
Blake Shinwari, Ty England, Smart Edge.
Yeah, listen, he was a little bit of a hard luck start
story. He was put across heels on the top of the straight and was pretty held up.
Michael, Stella Girl. Those that have a Group 1 winner, they're expected to put on the barbecue come Monday morning for breakfast, bacon and eggs and the likes, and they're having a good day. Gary Nixon just had a winner in Sydney. Of course, Greg Hickman had the biggest
with
race.
Pirata, yes.
But Gary Portelli could top it here with Secret Lady, couldn't he, Tone?
I think. What are they going to do when they get to the first term? Where are they all going to be?
Well, we're going to be in front.
In front?
Yeah. Is there others in it?
No, Tone, none.
No, look, she's a speed filly. Luke knows her. We've got to trust her speed. Her mother was speed. I don't want to change anything than what she's been doing, Greg. She's been leading and winning. And if something leads her, they'll be going faster than they should be.
Good luck.
Thank you.
OK, the vet looks like it's having a look at Sky Ray.
It's always a butte convergence of two-year-old form. There's always that mystery of unbeaten.
F-Trip stays 420. Jonker, who as much as $6 was Sunlight. So the big three and became the big four this morning. And you could still realistically say the big four. Four runners.
Which has got the rails. Red light flashes away. Set now, racing in the 2018 Magic Millions, and Merrill was away brilliantly with also going forward Jonker on the inside. Anthemosa is handy. Witherspoon likewise. Secret Lady is going forward, so Secret Lady is now just in front here, passing over on the inside. Jonker, Jonker got skittled. Jonker lost about 3 or 4 lengths there, and F-Troopers burnt clear now. It's F-Troop about 5 lengths in front. Sunlight goes up into second, passing Secret Lady. The best part of 3 to 4 lengths away to Merrill. Witherspoon, Jonker's over on the inside. Next to Rails is Nomathage. Bondi the outside, length and a half to Whiskey Shooter. Followed there by Legislation. Out back Barbie, full as the boot. Quacker Jack, second last. The inside is Sky Ray, and Crockett's about 5 lengths away. F-Trip's in front at the 350, led by about a length and 3/4 here from Sunlight. They're well clear from Witherspoon on the outside. Nomathage, Secret Lady, Merrill's back over on the inside. F-Troop is still the leader. Sunlight on the outside's looming up now. It's F-Troop and Sunlight clear from Outback Barbie, but Sunlight has reached the lead now from F-Troop. Outback Barbie, full as the boot, jumping up out of the ground, but Sunlight for the millions. Sunlight's won it brilliantly by 3 lengths to full as a boot. A massive run. Third Outback Barbie. Fourth was F-Troop, followed by Secret Lady, Bondi, Legislation, Whiskey Shooter, Quacker Jack, Anthemosa, followed by Merrill, and then we had next across the line was just in behind those Sky Ray, Crockett, followed by Nomathage, Witherspoon, and poor old Jonker got flattened early and knocked out of the race.
Sunlight the filly has won the Magic Millions and won it easily from Full as a Boot, who's charged from the rear. Outback Barbie in third spot, and the speed horse F-Troop has finished fourth in front of Secret Lady, Bondi. Well, Duff, you were confident before the race. Tony McAvoy oozed confidence all week. She's the real deal.
Oh, she is the real deal. It got hairy there when, he's in some trouble. I don't want to preempt any stewards, but he just gets come crunching across there on F-Troop McIlvray, and it was carnage there for a while. And she copped it too, the winner, so she's balanced herself back up, and look at her, really balanced to the line. She's really good. She's very sharp. Could be Golden Slipper class, believe me.
Jonker's finished tailed off. We'll show that interference in a moment, but Luke Curry, who rode her...
And with the weight of expectation today, and she's proven all her fans right, you know, and I just think she's been expertly trained by Tony to bring her up here early and have those couple of runs, bring her through that run last week, and just amazing feeling.
He's a couple of years ago was so lucky not to be squeezed out of the race, but awful problems for Jonker. Secret Lady, Sunlight in the middle, F-Troop out wide. Jonker hits the fence, Merrill cops it, and a couple of the others had to scout wide. We'll show you that one more time.
That much.
OK, Glenn Munsey, she is now favourite for the Golden Slipper.
Equally, Greg, an $8 chance with Performer. $8 each of 2. Performer, we saw him trial during the week.
Look, Greg, high-class filly, this one, and she's just hasn't put a foot wrong. I've just had such a blessed preparation with her. We planned to get her here early, which we did, and it's all gone beautifully to plan. I've got to thank Tony Gollan and his staff. They've looked after us magnificently, and I'm highly excited.
You want to go to the Slipper?
Yeah, we'll go to the Slipper with her. we've got time now to take her away and freshen her up, and she's slipper quality.
What did you think of the first turn? It was getting awfully messy there. There must have been a lump in your throat.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all, Greg. Didn't like it at all. But she just showed her class and composure to put that behind her and go on and win the race. So, great filly.
She might have, it's for a closed shop for the sales horses. But yesterday, some real special horses. Obviously, the three.
Troop Outback Barbie, full as a boot, jumping up out of the ground, but Sunlight for the millions. Sunlight won it brilliantly by 3 lengths to Full as a Boot. A massive run. Third Outback Barbie. Fourth was F Troop, followed by Secret Lady Bondi.
Tony was just commenting off air then. Tony, you were saying just as Sunlight got to F Troop, that's when the training kicked in.
Yeah, I think the fitness, the edge of fitness, having had a trial, 2 runs on the track here, and the 7-day backups. The 7 days ago, she pulled up so fit and so well. Her lungs were so clean and bright in the eye after that race. I knew then and there that she was ready for a grand final. When you need to be ready for a grand final, it is a grand final. It's high pressure. They went out very hard, and she was up in that zone, and then to still finish as strong as she did. Not only is she a star filly, but she had the edge on fitness.
A couple of the Junos were...
Yeah, I was very concerned. I could see something that was going to happen. But I tell you what I took great comfort in was the courage of Luke Curry and his experience. Luke made the decision to go up in there and protect himself. And if had coming out of that, would not have protected him. He rode up in there. He used those horses around him. And I think that moment won us the race.
Yeah, definitely. And the filly stayed sensible in her own right. She coped with that interference herself.
Yeah,
she was smart.
She got a great class about her, and the way she just shook it
up well behind the field when they came back. And reading a lot of the jockeys, and we'll get to the jockeys in a moment, but a lot of them, you think it's all jonker, but there's...
The backwash.
There's half a dozen horses there who get forced off the track. Let's go and hear from the jockeys.
Or 225, I should say, back to 235. So good money around for Vidor. And of course, there was that big 40k bet or $40,000 bet at 280 all in. As soon as we open the all in markets. So
let's get your late mail numbers for the last.
Well, I concur with Dave. Certainly looks the one to beat Vidora. She's a Group 1 winner at her most recent start and absolutely awesome.
Racing now, and Vidora was probably about 6 or 7 to get going. Kaepernick and Mert the Fleur both began quickly. Going forward, Dothraki, Egyptian Symbol, and Snitzcraft likewise. Perfect Airs on the outside, out very wide. But Snitzcraft in front. Dothraki goes up into second. Third, Egyptian Symbol, and fourth is Perfect Air, at least 3 wide. Mert the Fleur's over on the inside from Kaepernick, and next on the outside there is Pinch River. Just in behind those horses, Irish Constabulary. Vidora's back third last, second last a moment, and last of all, a Cordon Bleu, about 8 to 9 lengths off Snitzcraft, led the way from Dothraki. Perfect Air third working, fourth the rails, Mert the Flirt, half a length away to Egyptian Symbol, and Vidora still back third last, about to get right to the outside. She's still 5 lengths off Snitzcraft at the 375. He's just in front from Dothraki. Vidora out wide, Egyptian Symbol, followed by Irish Constabulary, and Le Cordon Bleu is the deepest. Snitzcraft is still the leader. Here's Vidora on the outside. She's finishing strongly. Le Cordon Bleu down the outside, but Vidora, she sprints clear with 50 metres left to go. A queue up the minors, but all too classy, Vidora. Vidora's won the last by 3 lengths. Second's a photo between Snitzcraft and Egyptian Symbol. Closer, Kaepernick or Le Cordon Bleu for fourth. Next in Perfect Dare, who is wide. Dothraki, Pinch River, Irish Constabulary, Sir Moments, and Mert the Flirt about the last one.
Well, she's a Group 1 horse, and she has played with them in the sprint today. Racing away, settling back in the field, coming wide. She really loomed into it, Duff, before the turn. Joe said, let's get on our bike. And she loomed up in the home straight and just went straight past them. She's a really good sprinter, and she's up there with some of the best in the country.
She's a beauty, very close to second there, but...
It'll be Snitzcraft in front of our Egyptian Symbol and Kaepernick and then Le Cordon Bleu.
I don't know, and the class did prevail, didn't it? She is very, very classy, so who knows what... There's no limit to her sprinting ability.
Well, Bernie knows this guy.
The owners, my wife Jen, for all her support. She's a part owner in the horse, and
Their support's just been fantastic leaving me on this mare. Just like to thank them all, and Lord, he does a terrific job.
He's worked her out now, doesn't he? Just a few weeks between runs, just arrive on the big days, and she gets a job done.
Yeah, early in her career, he was running her every fortnight.
Roll into it was just horrible. She won the Group 1 in Perth 42 days before this, came back to Adelaide, up to the Gold Coast. She's a very good traveller, but it's still hard to do.
Yeah, she loves to run space and she loves to travel the country, there's no doubt about it. Left-hand tracks, right-hand tracks, down the straight, who cares? She's just a beauty. I thought they slowed a bit for a sprint race here, and Bowditch knew that. He got on his bike before the turn and got her into her rhythm, and I thought it was a smart move. Even though she won with authority anyway, he just took that dangerous part of the race out.
Yeah, he just said to me I wasn't going to take any risks.
No.
He knew he was on the best horse. I laughed when Jason Collett said, I was just hoping she was a bit sweaty or a bit messy behind the barrier. She was perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
It's just the gap there is the Group 1 gap. She's the Group 1 horse, the others aren't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they were crying for a slot last year, asking for one, and everyone just sort of says, how can she get a slot? But a form since is saying, well, maybe she should have been in the Everest last year. And
well, that's Lloyd Kenningwell's plan. Everything this year is aimed at October to get into the Everest, and they just...
If she stays in that form, she'll get a slot for sure.
He did say that there was an overseas opportunity for her, but he's thinking maybe stay in Adelaide, Sangster, Goodwood, then come to Sydney. So, gee, $26, you'd think at the moment she'd be one of the top 12. She'd have to get in.
Nature Strip 51, he was brilliant during the week. I hear he's going to...
be one of the top 12. She'd have to get in.
Nature Strip 51, he was brilliant during the week. I hear he's going to...
the English race at Warwick.
Favourite's going to get knocked off in any way, shape or form. Second leg of the quaddie here. So it's a short way home, but it might be the best way home at $1.50. And Camperdown, we mentioned the Jack...
Now here is your ruling favourite, Nature Strip. Ryan Maloney riding for new trainer Robert Hickmott, of course, with former trainer Robert Smurden having stood himself down. Nature Strip, a son of Nakoni, 3 wins from 4 career starts. The only time he was beaten was at Moonee Valley behind Sam's Image, and he was terrific on that occasion. $1.45, got into 140 briefly, Hutch. Now back to the opening quote.
Racing, Nature Strip away fairly towards the outside, fully maxed out quickly with 100%. Rod and Todd is showing speed. Nature Strip is getting into a rhythm. Now towards the middle of the pack there, Invincible Dream is trying to cut Prezzato and Bravo Tango, so they're stretched across, but the leader is Invincible Dream. Well and truly off the outside fence. It's virtually coming up the middle with Overshare. Towards the outside, Nature Strip in third, followed then by Ultra Smart, Proudest Moment, See Me Exceed, Prezzato, followed by Rod and Todd 100%. Towards the end, Fully Max second last, and Bravo Tango is at the end. 300 metres to go. It's Nature Strip hard up against the outside fence in front from Prezzato, giving chase, then See Me Exceed and Rod and Todd. Nature Strip giving its head at the 200. Prezzato's going with it. It's Nature Strip about a neck in front. Prezzato now. Nature Strip accelerates, tries to dart away and scored comfortably enough. 3/4 Prezzato. Bravo Tango, an eye catcher third, followed then by Rod and Todd. Further back in the field then was See Me Exceed and 100% together from Ultra Smart, Fully Maxed, and then came Overshare, Invincible Dream and Proudest Moment. Nature Strip, Ryan Maloney a double, trained by Robert Hickmott. And just when this horse was given a couple of slaps with the whip, just wanted to lug in away from that outside rail, but has done it comfortably enough. Raw ability getting Nature Strip home.